And my commitment really is to support moms with self-care systems, because I believe that when we take better care of who we are, we add value to the relationships that we have. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. My second book, which is my second baby, this was a bigger baby, right? Is Time for Mommy, 365 Daily Strategies for Mother's Self-Care. It's also an Amazon #1 bestseller. You guys can pick it up if you want. But I want to show you that because I want you to understand that I am absolutely passionate about getting moms in particular understand that self-care and ritualistic self-care really supports us in terms of being able to show up powerfully in so many other ways. Hey there, good to see you. Welcome to the broadcast. And so that's what I like to talk about. You know, over the years, one of the things I want to tell you a little bit about my family. I have 3 kids. I have a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old. Boy, girl, boy. And I've been married to my husband almost 20 years. We've got 9 more days, and we will be celebrating our 20th anniversary. And when, you know, I had no idea, like, the impact of me taking great care of myself and how my children would benefit. Thank you so much. From my routines, from my rituals. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. You getting your groove back, because I meet so many moms that when they become moms, they get lost in motherhood. Now, my story really was very simple. When I was pregnant, and I was 6 months pregnant. Oh, wonderful. That's right. We have the same wedding anniversary. That's what it'll be? When I was pregnant, I was 6 months pregnant, and my mother made me promise that I would date myself every single week as a new mom. So here it is, I'm pregnant. My mother wants me to date myself every single week. I don't even know what that means. And here, her story was that she was like a really great mom to my brother and I, and she did not make time for her own life. She gave everything to my brother and I. So she was one of those moms that dotted all the T's, crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's for my brother and I, but she didn't do it for herself. She didn't have any hobbies that didn't involve us. All of her friendships involved our world, okay? And so as we grew older, she found it difficult to take great care of her own life because she no longer knew who she was. She needed to get her groove back. So here it is, I was pregnant. And my mom did not want me to repeat that pattern and made me promise to date myself as a new mom. And so I didn't know what to do. So I decided to start spending 90 minutes alone. Really, I went to coffee shops and bookstores alone every single week as a mom. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you so much for doing that. So I decided to go to coffee shops and spend 90 minutes alone. And I didn't know what to do. But what happened was, over time, what I learned was from spending time alone, I became clear about what was important to me. I became clear about what my priorities were. I became clear for myself how to add value to my relationship and my marriage with my son. And what I've been able to do over the last 17 years is I date myself every single week for the last 17 and a half years. And I dare say that I've dated myself more than any mom in the country. That's my specialty. Welcome, Nicole, to the scope. That's my specialty. And what I've found is in coaching moms, so many moms never make that time. You guys know what I'm talking about. We never make that time, that dedicated and consistent time to date ourselves, right? We never make that time a priority for us to spend time together. It's hard to pull together during divorce. Finances are restricted. But coffee shop, you walk, visit a friend, right? You can visit a friend. It wasn't expensive. I was just in a coffee shop. I mean, you can order a cup of coffee, a cup of tea is $2, $2.50. But it was really about me doing these things ritualistically that changed my life. It wasn't about just saying, it wasn't about a meal. It was about quiet time, alone time. It could be a walk in the park. It could be a walk at an arboretum. It could be a walk in your neighborhood. Hey, Nicole, good to see you. But it was about being consistent with myself. And because I was able to hear myself think, I was able to better make choices for myself powerfully. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, because getting your groove back, yes, getting your groove back. Hey, darling, good to see you. Getting your groove back, it's all about choosing for yourself powerfully. See, a lot of times we're trying to make high-level decisions for our families, and we're not feeling high level. We're feeling low level. We're feeling tired. We're feeling drained. Thank you so much for putting that there. We're feeling tired. We're feeling drained. We're feeling overwhelmed, right? Because we aren't doing what we need to do for ourselves. And what I've learned over the years is that if I want to take better care of the people that I love the most, I do best by taking great care of myself. Now, for those of you who are joining me, I am Mia Redrick. I'm the Mom Strategist. I support moms with life and business success. You can always check me out at miaredrick.com. Thank you so much for posting that for them. You know what? And I just attract amazing people in my world on Periscope. I'm so blessed to have you guys here to be able to let me do what I love to do, which is to support more moms take great care of themselves. You're all talked in now. Okay, now you can set up hearts, right? Okay, you're a mom of 3 and a 7-year-old. Any quiet time is so appreciated. So here's the thing about quiet time for us as moms is that no one's going to give it to you. You have to take it. You have to know that quiet time is how you're better able to prioritize what's best for yourself and everyone else. I believe that the best way to add value to any relationship is by dating. You date yourself once a week. You date your kids individually every other week, or once a month. You date your husband every other week, okay? Depending on the number of kids. If you've got 5 kids, once a month. So one of the best ways to add value to a relationship or to get to know anyone, including yourself, is by dating. And you cannot forget this. And I'm so touched by this because I didn't know, because my mom challenged me to date myself, how it would impact my life. And people would say to me when I was part of these mom groups, like, when did you have time to read a book? How is it that you always know what you want to do for yourself? I wasn't spending a lot of time. I was spending 90 minutes consistently alone with myself to hear myself think. And as a result of that, I could choose powerfully for myself. So if you find for yourself that you're feeling scattered consistently, you don't know what you want, you're not putting yourself on the calendar, it's just that you are not taking time to get clear about who you are, like what you want, what your needs are at all, and 90 minutes alone. Now, I always went to coffee shops because that was easy for me. Sometimes I stay home when the children and hubby go to church laughing out loud. Yes. But you know what? That 90 minutes needs to be ritualistic. So what you need to understand is that self-care served best is ritualistic self-care. I don't believe going to like the nail salon or getting my hair done is a self-care moment. That's maintenance. That's called self-maintenance. You like the term date yourself, right? That's called maintenance care. Maintenance care is like getting your hair done, getting your nails done. I don't necessarily see those as things that I'm doing to enhance who I am, okay, that enhance my personal growth. So self-care to me routinely is when I am going to do something that is going to allow me to enhance who I am, not maintenance care, right? Like getting my eyebrows waxed, like there's nothing about it to me that is relaxing. I don't know about you guys. What about you guys, right? But it's nothing about it that's relaxing, so I don't... So I just don't relate to it in that way. So what I want to make the case for tonight is my intention is that if you've never thought about self-care ritualistically, I want you to think of it ritualistically, which is every day doing something for yourself, which are 15-minute dates every day, right? So every day I spend at least 15 minutes alone, by myself, with myself. I get clear. Now you can do it at the end of your day or you can do it at the beginning of your day. Does not matter, but to spend time every day, because that allows you to get centered about what's most important for you. See, moms, we're like the CEOs of our families. So how do you run, right, your company, your family as a business when you have no strategy, right? When you have no priority, no sense of priority. And a lot of us are on, we're reacting to what's happening to us every day. This is for everyone, even if the kids are gone. Absolutely. And you guys, do me a favor. Right, tap, tap, tap. Because see, when we tap, 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 what happens is the other moms out there that need to hear this message say, what was that about? And I want to hear it. And that's why we're doing it, right? We're serving it up for those moms out there who need to hear this message, who are right now exhausted because it's 10:48 and they've done something for every single person and they haven't learned to fill their own cup. See, I believe that my cup isn't full, actually. But I believe that, like, if I'm drinking this here, everything in this cup, if it was full, that I'm supposed to drink this. You're supposed to give from your overflow, like what's pouring over this cup, okay? And a lot of times, we're giving from a cup that's like half full. And we're trying to figure out why we feel depleted, why what we're giving isn't enough. It's because you're giving what you need. See, you want to give from your overflow, and you can only do that if you prioritize your needs first, okay? Yes, thank you so much, you guys. You got to reset after 500 so that the hearts can count. And if you don't do that, then the hearts don't count, all right? And what we want to do is support more moms, all right? I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist for those of you who are joining me on the web, okay? A lot of my viewers come on the web, and you can always check me out at catch.me for past scopes, or sign up for my newsletter list at miaredrick.com. There's some free goodies there, and therefore we can stay in touch, right? Okay, wonderful. All right. So I want to make the case for you guys to spend 15 minutes every day. Anybody saying I'm in? 15 minutes every day by yourself. And when you do that, okay, what you're going to find is you're going to get clear about planning your day and what's best for you. The other reason that a lot of moms don't get their groove back, thank you. Who's in? Anybody else in? Willing to spend 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day. Thank you so much. By yourself. Just one person is in. Are you guys kidding me? Are you kidding? You guys must be kidding. Are you guys kidding? One person is in. So we want moms to commit and understand that when you take great care of yourself, okay, great. Okay, you're in. Okay, great, Nicole. What we want is to have a community of moms who go into 2016 and they're clear that in order for you to give to your family what they need, you got to give to yourself, and you got to be in. You got to be all the way in. And this is what I'm talking about. And what you're going to see is that those dreams that we talk about on that business side, they happen when on the life side you start to care for who you are and you get clear about what good looks like for you. See, you cannot create for yourself highest intention if you're not clear about what's most important, what you really want, what you really need. And that comes from alone time, 15 minutes a day, okay? And when you guys check in on my scopes, all I want you to say is that I took 15 minutes for me and it felt great. I took 15 minutes for me and it felt great. That actually came from, in this book, in my book, Time for Mommy, 5 Essential Strategies for Mother Self-Care, what I get moms to do at the end of each chapter, they have to sign a contract to themselves, and it says, I took an action for me, and it feels great. And that is important because, see, we make commitments to everyone else, but we don't make commitments to ourselves. I want to find it so I can let you guys see what it looks like, right? Here we go. Somebody screenshot it. Here's the affirmation. Let me know. Can you see it? Here you go. I took an action for me, and it felt great. Right? Because at the end of the day, it's about taking small, consistent actions for yourself. And when you do, you will feel great. And you will notice that you'll have less headaches. You know what? You'll be less snappier with your kids. You'll start to like your life more. You'll make better choices, higher and better choices for yourself, because you'll be doing it in clarity. I took an action for me and it felt great. Thank you, Nicole, for putting that there. I know. You got to send me your email address so I can send you the book. Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. Mia_Redrick at findingdefinitions.com. Okay. So anyway, one of the ways that I found to get my groove back, or not to lose my groove, I guess, is by dating myself, to practicing ritualistic self-care, spending 15 minutes every single day alone, getting clear about what was best for me. Thank you guys so much for sending the hearts, for your post here to support the broadcast. So important. And I found that in doing that, I became clearer about what was best for me. And a lot of us are trying to make decisions for ourselves, and we never go on pause. The second way that I also found for myself that really supported me outside of what I've just shared is by putting myself on the family calendar. And that's whether or not you guys use a physical family calendar, like the big calendars, right? You might be using a big calendar, or an electronic calendar, or it's just communicating with your family. But we put our kids on the calendar, we put our spouse on the calendar, and a lot of times we don't put ourselves. We don't put ourselves on the calendar. Nobody knows what you're trying to do for you. And so when you're trying to be consistent at dating yourself or spending 90 minutes alone, nobody knows what you're trying to do. And so it becomes an afterthought. So what I want you to do is begin to put yourself on the calendar. Tap, tap, tap. Right, right, right. Tap, tap, tap. Right, right, right. Tap, tap, tap. Right, right, right. Okay? Okay, I want you to start putting yourself in the calendar. Now, that's going to do a couple things. All right, because when your kids start seeing you on the calendar, then you change their blueprint. So you no longer become the mom that's just like making things happen behind the scene. Thank you so much, Nicole. You're going to put yourself on the calendar. You're not any longer just the mom that's making things happen behind the scenes. You're the mom that also has things that she's doing to grow her life. Don't you want your children to grow up and know that you're growing while they're growing? See, a lot of our kids, they never get to see what you're doing to grow who you are. That becomes part of their blueprint. See, my blueprint was that I never watched my mom see a movie. We would do like movie night, and my mom was the one that prepared the snacks when we were watching the movie, cleaned up in the middle of the movie, and then, reset, guys, cleaned up in the middle of the movie, and then she never saw the whole movie. Then she was like doing dishes or something. Yes, you are showing them that you value you. Your kids need to understand that you as a mom are growing also while they're growing. And a lot of our kids never get to see their moms reaching for their dreams. See? I'm just saying, okay? And it's very important. And you can shift that blueprint for them simply by putting yourself on the calendar. And your kids are going to ask you things. They're going to say to you, yes. They're going to say things to you like, Mom, what is it that you're doing on Saturday? And that when you're going to say to them, Samira's in the house, the bounce back strategist. Your children are going to say things like, Mom, what is it that you are doing? And then you'll be able to tell them, I am taking care of myself. Mommy likes to, whatever it is. And you'll be modeling that for them. And it'll become part of their blueprint. See, they won't have these empty blueprints. Hey, darling. I'm so proud of you and all that you've got going on. You guys need to check her out. She's one of my Core Mom coaching clients. She is the bounce back strategist, and her name is Samira Jones. Samira, put your information there. What she does is support women who are bouncing back, who have been knocked down, and who need formulas and strategies on how to get back up again. How do you put your pants on, you know what I mean, or get out of the bed when you've had life knock you down? She knows, and you guys need to check her out. I just absolutely adore her. She's wonderful what she's up to, and you guys need to check her out. And here's my commitment to you guys, is that I only attract great people. And anytime I will shout you guys out always, right? But I will only refer resources that I know will support you. And you can guarantee that. I'm never going to tell you something just that I have not tried, that I do not know, because I want to make sure that any person that I send you to, they're going to take great care of you, and you can trust them, and you can trust the information, okay? I need her you're going through a divorce. You need to talk to her. She knows of what she speaks. You guys need to connect, okay? She is the bounce back strategist, and she's got a book coming out called Tough Skin. And I'm going to tell you, I read it with a big bowl of popcorn. Man, I'm going to tell you what, it's a good read. Yeah, you need to follow her. She's the bomb, okay? So your children need to see you on that calendar. They need to see their mom growing. They need to know what you're doing. They don't need to be trying to figure out what mom's good at, okay? They need to know what mom's good at. And keep in mind that anything that you are doing for yourself, right? Anything you're doing for you, you're doing for them. See, anything you're doing for you, you're sharing with them. And anything you're not doing for you, yes, awesome connections taking place always, every day, with great people, right? So I attract great, amazing women who are smart, they're sharp, they believe in self-investment, and we know that we can have what we want if we're willing to work on ourselves, right? And do what we need to do. All right, check out her website. All right. Your kids need to know that. They need to know that what their mom's capacity is. And I think it's great your kids know that you cook for them, you clean for them, you do carpool. But how about, I know, you're great. How how about your kids know also what you're great at? You know, I hear all the time from my clients, their kids, they didn't know their mom painted. They didn't know their mom wrote a book. They didn't know their mom was a dancer. Your children need to know your stories. They need to know what you're good at. I love being able to share those things with my kids. And one of the coolest things that ever happened to me was when I was doing the triathlons years ago. I did 3 triathlons, right? Because I wanted to learn to swim. That's a long story, and I'll tell you guys about that another day. But nonetheless, I'll never forget it when my son, Patrick, he was like 15 years old. He was at one of my races, and he saw me on the bike, you know, and I'm gunning and running, right? Like, I'm in it, okay? I'm in it. Fired up, okay? And at the end of that race, that day, he said to me, he said, Mom, yes, absolutely, Samira. He said, I didn't know you knew how to ride hard. You know, he said, I never saw you ride hard for that day. But after that day, he knew that his mom could take those family bike rides, but she could gun and run too. And I thought that was such a cool gift for me to give him a new perspective of who I am. And see, when your kids get to see you living your gifts, they get to see you in a completely different way, and it changes their blueprint of what is possible, right? As a divorced parent, I quoted, if it's not about me, it's not to be. They're my biggest support. Absolutely. Did you hear this, Amira? My daughter supports me by making lunch when she sees me focused. See, our kids are part of the story. And I think as moms, it's so, she wants to make sure I eat. Yeah, see, your kids want to be a part of the journey. I love the fact that my kids have watched me build this business, and it's a part of them. I love sometimes when I'm doing like marketing campaigns, I'll bring them in and they give me headlines that I need to use. They're a part of the story. They've watched their mom grow and build an amazing business, and they're part of it. They're not separate from that. And you know what? It all started with just me spending 90 minutes a week trying to figure out, what do I want to do when I grow up? What does good look like for me? Okay. And there's no guilt associated to growing and being who you are and then being able to add value to your kids because you know who you are. See, I think what is selfish, you want to know what I think is selfish? I think what is selfish is not giving your kids all of who you are because you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are, so you can't even give that to your kids. See, it's so important that you spend that time alone ritualistically so that you come to know who she is and your kids get a full view of who you are as a woman. And when you do that, you change and shift their blueprint forever, you know? And, you know, one of the things that I'm always thinking about, because my mom is an amazing mom. Yes, she's great. Make sure you guys connect. My mom is an amazing mom, but I'll never forget this. Because my mom didn't grow, it was very difficult for her as my brother and I got older and became independent, and we didn't need her in the same way. She really struggled with the relationship sometimes because she wanted us to need her in ways that we didn't need her because she couldn't grow. So you see, when you aren't growing, sometimes you can't grow with your kids. And none of us, you guys know what I'm talking about. High five, right? High five. Because none of us want to do that to our kids, but we do it by default when we don't invest in ourselves. We develop these false needs, right? Because we want to be validated by the past, but our kids need to understand. My children all have entrepreneurial spirits, right? Thank you so much for putting my Twitter share. Mia_Redrick is Twitter. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I just adore you guys. But when we aren't growing, at times, we don't want our kids to continue to grow, and you don't want that. I have a client who, a mother of twins, I'll never forget it. She had her kids went off to college, and she went to the grocery store, and she told me that she bought a cart full of food for the kids, even though they were away at college. And she was so devastated by that because she could no longer figure out for herself what she wanted to eat. See, she had been buying for the kids so long that she didn't know what she wanted anymore, right? Tajuana Brown-Smith is in the house. Hey there. She is a travel strategist for families. She is the founder of Mom's Guide to Travel. And you guys need to be following her. She's one of my core mom coaching client. She is a bad mama jamma. Now, what she told me was something like she's gone to over 15 countries or 20 countries. She's a mom with two boys, one who has special needs. He had two special needs at one time, leukemia and autism. And she's a wife of a military. She's a military wife, right? Her scopes are awesome. And you know what? She's so humble. She's like, I've only visited 20 countries, right? But how do you visit 20 countries? And most of us have only visited like 3-5 countries. Okay. Don't you guys want to know? Don't you want to know? Well, she could tell you how. She's running a Periscope class, right? Aren't you running a Periscope class to teach people how to rock out Periscope? So you guys need to check her out. She's one of my core mom coaching clients, and I work with amazing women who I love to shout out all the time because they're awesome, right? I was just emailing a new sign up. Okay, for your beta class, put your beta class there on how to use Periscope. In fact, Tajuana has taught me how to use Periscope because I'm a newbie, right? I've only been on Periscope for 35 days. Okay, 35 days, right? And I appreciate that. Okay, is this scope supporting you guys? I want to just take a minute, and if you guys need to reset so you can do hearts, do that. Is this scope supporting you guys around self-care, getting your groove back? Because what I want to see for you guys in this upcoming year is for you to rock it out. And I want you to understand what is in the way. And sometimes what's in the way, it's not your business plan. It's not your lack of effort. It's your lack of focus. It's the fact that you don't have a consistent self-care routine, ritual for yourself that's keeping you stuck. Okay? And so it's so important for you to understand in order for you to show up like the mom you want to be, right? You got to have a self-care ritual. That's what I do. If you ask me all the time, Mia, what made the difference for you? It was 90 minutes a week, 15 minutes every single day. I took 15 minutes to myself, by myself every day. That's what I do to get clear about what's best for me. Did Periscope stop? It didn't stop for me. Did Periscope stop for you guys? Okay, it didn't stop for me. Okay, anyway, for those of you who are just joining me, I am Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist. I support moms with life and business success. Now, you guys can always check me out at miaredrick.com or my past scopes at catch.me. Now, I'm committed to giving you guys great and amazing content. If you are a mom out there and you are ready to rock out your purpose and you're trying to figure out why you're stuck, if you're trying to figure out self-care rituals, if you're trying to figure out how to build your business online via a digital content online strategy, then I am your girl, and you want to check out my scopes, on my past scopes on catch.me, okay? Thank you, Tajuana. I appreciate it. Thank you, Samira, for inviting your followers, okay? So your kids need to see you get your groove back because they need to have an example of what it looks like to be growing throughout. And that's what we give them. And a lot of us, if you think about your own mom, sometimes we have empty blueprints of what it looks like to be able to grow in your own life or reach for your own dreams. And what we want to do as moms is give our kids a lens of what that looks like, right? So imagine your son's eventually going to get married and they're going to marry someone, and you want to give your kids a view of how to navigate that and how to be a supportive spouse when you have a wife that maybe is stuck in some way, right? Or you want to make sure your daughter understands that, yes, you can be a great and amazing mom, and that doesn't mean that you can't be great and amazing to yourself. What do you guys think about that, right? So one of the things that I teach about in my book is that personal growth is being more of who you are. So the way I like to see personal growth is that it's not a certain destination because there's always an area to grow, but it's being more today, tomorrow of who you are. Right? And it's just, there's always an area that we can grow and nurture ourselves. And I think it's just important that part of the routine within a family is that we're trying to build a culture of self-care within our family. And I think that's why keeping that family calendar is so important and putting yourself on it, because then your kids will grow up with a lens like, well, we did soccer practice and lacrosse practice and dad did golfing and mommy did whatever mommy does, okay? And when you do that, then forever your kids think that's what all moms do. They don't even relate to the fact that a mom would not put herself on the calendar, right? Does that make sense? All right. And most of us never grew up with a mom that included her own needs in the calendar. Most of what I hear when I began working with moms is that they believe that taking care of themselves starts at 9 o'clock at night when the kids go to bed. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Okay? But let's be clear, 9 o'clock at night, that's not your freshest. That's not when that's not when you're feeling amazing. You have to take care of yourself first, okay? And you've got to come up with a priority, a routine, a ritual that allows you to do that. And when you do it, what you'll find is that you'll be stronger and better. If you ever feel resentful in motherhood or in your marriage, look at your self-care rituals. If you ever are struggling with the fact that you feel like your spouse is not dating you enough, not paying you enough attention, my question to you is, if you were going to go out with you, what would you want to do? So how do you ask someone to meet your needs if you don't know what you need? How do you inform the process? How do you inform the process? Okay, it all starts with you, all right? So if you want to have a great relationship with your partner, you got to have a great relationship with yourself, okay? And then that great relationship allows you to inform that process, that allows you to say to your spouse, I love to do this. Hey, good to see you. I love to do this or that. And therefore, your spouse isn't shooting in the dark because you don't even know what you like anymore because you haven't danced with you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So how many of you guys are in, right? 15 minutes a day. How many of you guys are in? And you're going to check in on the scopes, right? So when you come in the scopes, you're just going to say what? Anybody remember what you're going to say? What are you going to say when you come in on the scopes? We have been in touch with we have to be in touch with our inner selves. You have to be in touch with your inner self. And if you're not in touch with your inner self, it shows, right? Because you're not making decisions based on any priority, right? You're likely being reactive to what's happening around you and you're treating everything like it's urgent and important because there's no priority in your life because you're not getting quiet. See, when you get quiet, you get still, you start to become clear about what you want and where you want to go. I took time for myself, right? I took an action for myself. And it felt great. That's what we're going to do, right? You take an action every day for yourself, and it feels great. That's 15 minutes, right? That's not optional. It's not a bonus. This is what we do. Like you brush your teeth, you take 15 minutes for yourself every day. And what you're going to see is that you'll get greater clarity about choosing powerfully for yourself. And as a result of that, you'll make better choices for your family. The best way to add value to any relationship is by adding value to yourself. Right? And a lot of us are trying to add value to our relationships, but we haven't done anything to add value to ourselves. And so, you're doing things, but you're feeling inside resentful. You're feeling sad. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling like taken for granted because what you're expecting is that somebody else is going to do for you what you won't do for you. Now listen to me on this one. You're expecting somebody else to do for you what you're not willing to do for you. All right? So what I want to encourage and challenge you guys is what I'm saying is true. It's true. And that your spouses would never ask you not to take care of yourself. We have set up systems in our families that said, I don't need that. I don't need that. But you do need it, okay? And you need to put yourself on the calendar.